Okay, it's Spencer O'Connor with the Alt Center News. Alright, so, I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to talk about climate change, okay? So obviously climate change is just, it's just God telling us that we need to, be more Christian. And the whole, what's happening with climate change is that, but climate change isn't actually, being caused by humans. The way that that we're trying to deal with climate change is obviously incorrect. But what, a lot of climatologists are trying to convince people is that we need more solar, more renewable, more hydroelectric, more geothermic, and more, you guessed it, more, wait, I forgot. Okay, it's just those four, actually. But, what people are not telling you is that this is actually just God's work, obviously. And, so, I am going to go to the most trustworthy news site. I actually forgot to mention in our last video. So, it is, of course, The Onion. They've never told a joke in their life. Everything they say is completely real. And so now they are going to show, I'm going to show you a video that they made about how much climatologists have worked to lie to the people around the world about what's happening. Okay? So, here we go. I'm just going to trim this part out.
The community to pull the wool over the eyes of the general public. How much work goes into convincing the public that climate change is real? Studies, conferences, documentaries. It's all a tireless effort by the global scientific community to pull the wool over the eyes of the general public.
Sorry, it's loading.
Getting every single scientist in the entire world to propagate the lie that human activity causes global warming is a colossal undertaking. Well, at first we had to make sure everyone was on the same page about fossil fuels. A lot of researchers initially wanted to push the idea that burning natural gas makes the Earth irreversibly colder. Even worse, some didn't want to focus on the environment at all. They just wanted to push the hoax that fluoride was slowly poisoning our children. Those early days were really tough. Luckily, we were able to make progress thanks to organizations like the Sierra Club, which streamlined the global warming lie into one clear, singular message that really made it much easier to pull one over on everybody. The 1992 Kyoto Protocol also did a lot to legitimize our conspiracy. It was a huge deal to have almost 200 countries come together to agree on crackpot terms like CO2 emissions and the ozone layer. Once celebrities started throwing their names behind the whole scam, things really took off, and we've had people eating out of our hands ever since. This is a report published last year that says 20% of the Antarctic ice shelf is gone. It's co-authored by scientists from the National Institute of Ecology, MIT, and Oxford, and it's all bullshit. But luckily, the media bought into our scam pretty quick. At this point, the whole con can run itself. The legwork on this has been truly astounding. You don't even want to know how much planning has gone into making sure the Great Barrier Reef looks like shit.
It must be difficult. It's a very heartfelt message from that amazing climatologist that is the only one that wants to speak the truth out of every single other climatologist in the world. So it must be true that he's risking his career like that, and it just makes it even more true that it comes from such a legitimate news site like The Onion. So, the only more legitimate news site out there is, Breitbart, you know? Alright, so, Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but it's true. Climate change is a hoax. I'm going to quote our great president on this. Climate change is a hoax perpetrated by the Chinese, okay? Chinese did it, alright? They are not shutting down a single coal plant, even though CNN says they're shutting down like 1,000, okay? They are not shutting down a single oil plant, okay? They're not trying to get rid of pollution in any of their cities, okay? Even though CNN says they're trying to, and Fox and MSNBC and any other legitimate news sites out there, alright? So, I don't really understand how this is, like, disputable, okay? Climate change is a hoax perpetrated by the Chinese. What's actually happening is that God just is telling us we need to be more Christian. And, God is right. Thanks. I'm Spencer O'Connor, and I am out.